I'm getting packed up and ready to go, and so I don't know when I'll be back. So I don't want the room to not be used. So I've stashed a lot of my stuff, and I'll stash some more. But as I go over my gear, one of the things that really helps or hurts on my trip as I try to document things for you is these power packs. Not only do I have to charge my cameras and my tablet and my laptop, I've also got to stack up power when I can get it with these other devices, so I can go farther between having to find a place to plug in. So here's what I've been doing. Since this is so important and I have a little time, I've been running some numbers and weighing some power packs that I've had. This one, the longest. We'll start with this one, Pocket Juice. And so I call it Big Black, 7,800 milliamps per, I'm sorry, that's what its capacity is rated. And so how much electricity it will hold versus how much it weighs, because I'm carrying it around, is important. We want to maximize the amount of electricity. So what we can also do, and that's why I was using the calculator, once we know what it weighs and once we know its capacity, we can calculate the milliamps per, and I wrote it down, yeah, milliamps per gram. Milliamps per gram is what we're looking for. And so on the Big Black, I did the math already on a different sheet with a calculator because I don't want to strain my brain too much. So Big Black's ratio is 42 milliamps per gram. Now let's go to the next one, which is Black and Orange. And its capacity is only 1,600. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to be wrong because I paid 2 years ago a lot for this thing, like almost 50 bucks. And look, it's worn out. Is that a 1? It's not a 7. It's a 1, and it looks like 4 digits maximum. And so I'm saying that this thing, the Black and Orange, has a 1,600 capacity, but I put a question mark there, and I weighed it at 162 grams, so the ratio is terrible. It's a 10, where this one is a 42 and it weighs 20 grams more. This one is not coming on my trip, Mr. Black and Orange. You're not pulling your weight. But let's look at the red. 52 milliamps, 120 grams. We do the math and that's a 43. That's worth its weight. And the Black and White, 4,400 milliamp capacity, 122. That gives it a rating of 36. And since I am on a low budget, I'm not going to replace this. This is the oldest in my bag of electrical tricks. So I'm taking these 3, leaving this here. It weighs too much. I'm going to be doing similar evaluations, but not in such a detail, as I pack up my room and get ready to go out on the road. Socially distancing myself, which has been my policy for many years. This isn't new because of the coronavirus. That's what stealth camping is most of the time. I will have to stop doing my balloon animals at my favorite restaurants, the chain of Big Boys that helped me last time when I was running low on cash. I took my balloon animals into Big Boy and I twisted them up and I made enough money to keep rolling. And plus some of you guys who were following me back then sent me money on my PayPal and Patreon, and that also saved my bacon, and that was very helpful. It was 20 degrees when I hit Cincinnati, almost broke. I didn't know where to camp in that big city that would be safe and legal. So you got to check out my other videos because it shows you a lot of the background that I went through. And the changes this trip are going to be no Big Boys. I'll stop there for takeout, but I'm going to have to be well camped, well secluded, which is what I do every time I stealth camp. So it should be alright. Don't anybody worry about me. See, I got the Celtic cross, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I got a ton of people that are rooting for me, but they're also praying for me. So I feel invincible, as always.